Today's story is called SpongeBob is Not Happy. This is a story based on SpongeBob SquarePants series, and I have a quote for you guys. He was a silent fury with no torment could tame, by Jack London. So, one day in a bright bikini bottom, SpongeBob opens his eyes after the horn next to him blares very loudly, waking him up instantly as his beloved snail Gary moves toward his bed. SpongeBob rubbed his eyes while smiling and said, "Good morning, Gary. Are you hungry?" Gary just meowed and left him out of his bedroom. He smiled as he threw his bedsheets away and followed Gary to the kitchen. Arriving there, he went to cook food for both of them and have their breakfast together after that. And after getting their morning business set up, SpongeBob went to wash himself and got dressed. But he forgot to lock the window. And eventually Gary slipped outside and went to the main street, in which ended with Gary getting hit by a careless driver. Sad. But now it's dead. After taking himself for a nice fit of clothes, the rustle of people from outside caught his attention, and he left to see. Surprised, he ran to Gary's lifeless body and hugged it. Patrick can do nothing but apologize, and so he said to SpongeBob, "SpongeBob, I'm sorry for your loss." And SpongeBob knew that deep inside, it hurts him. It really, really hurts him. But he gotta stay strong and happy for everyone. And so he replied while he cried, "It's alright, Patrick. It's good work after all." After the incident, SpongeBob went to bury his pet Gary just at the back of his house. He made a memorial with the help of his friends and spent some time to put his sadness away. After getting rid of it, the sadness, he continued what he had made since the start, getting ready to praise of what is life trying to show, in which means going to work in the old Krusty Krab. Upon arriving there, SpongeBob was greeted with his boss. Who doesn't know him? Of course, it's Mr. Krab. But he seems looking very angry, and so he said to SpongeBob, "SpongeBob, me boy, what took you so long? The customers are waiting. And you know what? Their money, SpongeBob." With a forced smile, SpongeBob replied, "Yes, I know, Mr. Krab. I just lost Gary." Mr. Krabs looks at him with a slight pitiful face. But then his business mind started to take over, and he said to him, "Alright then, go do your work first, and I'll give you something for you in return," said him. Regardless of what Mr. Krabs said, he moves on and did his job. Just like how he used to do it, cooking for the customer and receiving a few scores from Squidward for being slow. And Mr. Krab would talk nothing but keeping his words for himself, still treating SpongeBob the way he usually treats him. In the afternoon, after working for many hours, SpongeBob, who was mentally tired, was asked by Mr. Krab for a double shift in the night. He said to him that he promised to give him a 1 month free day to compensate for his hard work. And of course, he was a bit relieved. But then he started to realize how Mr. Krab usually treats him. He cannot hope more than just being blatantly negative toward him. It's 12 in the middle of the night, and SpongeBob continued to mop the floor, as he started to feel like it is a never-ending mopping. He rests for a bit, until Mr. Krabs came out and told SpongeBob with an annoyance in his tone. He said, "SpongeBob, I don't want you I don't want to see you slacking around right now. Go and clean my office. Both mentally and physically tired, SpongeBob went to clean his office alone. Squidward, who just left an hour ago without telling SpongeBob, had given his whole duty for SpongeBob to take over. Slowly, SpongeBob couldn't bear the exhaustion. His mind suddenly breaks away, and his memories with Gary struck him like lightning. He cried, 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 and cried, as his body fell into the void, saying he could not bear everything that just happened. An hour later, the devil shivers to his ear, rapidly calling to his mind the words "Enough!" banging rapidly. The burden that life gave him crushed him to his limits. In a matter of minutes, SpongeBob opened his eyes. It turns red like blood. It drips tears and slowly turns red as he grabbed the kitchen knife near him. He left the Krusty Krab and went to Mr. Krab and Squidward's house. He breaks in through the window and kills them, leaving nothing but a pile of blood and a cut screen that disappears in an instant.